Hi, this is Alan with AlansFirearms and Guns Plus More, and this is the SIG P220. I had a request to do a P250 from a customer, from a fan, and I still haven't gotten one in, but I did get a P220 in, so I will do a field strip, clean lube, and reassemble on this one for now until I get that one in. But let's take a look at this gun. It's got plain black sights on it. It's got a decocker. It's got a slide release. This is a 45, and it's got an 8-round magazine. So it's a decent capacity. It's a big bang gun. It's an 8-round capacity. It is a double over single with a decocker on a 45. It's a pretty decent gun. So without any further ado, let's get over to the workbench, field strip it, clean it, reassemble it. So here we are at the workbench with the SIG P220. This is a 45 caliber pistol, and let's take a look at the sighting system on here. As you can see, it's just plain military sights. They are dovetailed in, so you can do a little windage. These are night sights, but they're dead because they're old. And this is an early firearm. Matter of fact, I believe this one is made in Germany. Let's see there. Yep, made in West Germany. This is before they had a factory here. So this is an 8-round pistol, and out of the box, these were considered extremely accurate for a 45. It is, let's check it. Okay. Nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. And it has a decocker. It's double action. And there is no actual safety on here. You just decock it and that's your safety. So it's the first, they don't feel you need a safety since you have a decocker. It's decocked. The first round, it's as though you're using a revolver. It's a 10-pound pull on the double action. It's 4-pound on the single action. It's 30 ounces overall. Now, how do you take this puppy apart? Pretty simple. You're going to pull the slide back, lock it in the back position, throw this switch down, the switch right here, and then you can release the slide and it will come right off. You can see it's got a big braided spring in here. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take, and there we have it totally disassembled. Now we're going to clean it. Okay, now I'm going to clean this. This is a used firearm, so I'm going to give this a real good cleaning. And get the barrel first. Now, what I use is Strikehold. Strikehold is a CLP, which stands for Cleaner, Lubricant, Protectant. It does all three things. Now, I will show you how to lube this gun, because a lot of people are still using the old type of cleaners. I suggest you get a CLP. This one I happen to think is fantastic. Online, you can get it locally at your shops. If you can't find it, you can go to my site and you can pick it up right there. Now I'm going to clean out the chamber real good, make sure I get the barrel. I'm going to throw this brush down here because it is a used gun. When you use a brush, you make sure you push the brush all the way out, because if you don't, the bristles, as you pull it, they pull into a direction, and then if you try to go the other way, you're going to get it stuck in your barrel. After I did the bristles, I'm going to use the cloth, because the bristles just loosen up the dirt. The cloth is what actually cleans it. That's pretty good. Got a lot of dirt out of there. I'm going to take the spring. Now, this spring only goes on in one direction. One side is a little tighter, and that's the side that's going to go on first. So I'm just going to take this spring, and I'm going to clean it. the rod. Look at all that dirt that just came off the rod. That's because the person was afraid to take the spring off of the rod because one end is tight. You see, that's the loose end. One end is tight. And when it goes on, it locks on. He was afraid of pulling it off maybe. Okay, I'm going to hit this little strike hold. Now I'm going to first use my finger and get the thick big parts because it'll be quicker that way. And then to get the smaller areas and the little slots, put a stick on here. And make sure I get this. All the slots, all the holes. I'm going to wipe down this whole gun with the strike hold. Okay, now the frame, same thing. We're going to put the stick on it. I'm going to get these slots that the slide runs in. The frame rails have to be very clean because it's going to get metal to metal contact. And I did that on the slide. I got into the slots. And get all of the areas inside here. I'm going to make sure I get the ramp. All the metal I'm going to get with the CLP. Now, if I was using regular gun cleaner, I would not get any on the plastic parts of the gun. And what's very important, a lot of people don't realize this, gun cleaner is caustic. It has to be, because most gun cleaners don't self-deactivate. And what they do is they break down the copper, the brass filings, and the lead filings that are left behind from the action of shooting. And the thing is, if you don't turn off the cleaner, even if you wipe it off, if you don't turn it off, it'll keep. Now make sure you get the battery back here and underneath the extractor. It will keep breaking down the finish of your gun and all the metal parts on your gun. Now make sure you get behind on the battery, you get clean behind the extractor, because if you don't and dirt builds up, it'll slide up over the round. You'll have a live round. You can end up getting a jam, or worse yet, get a live round in there and someone will rack it thinking that it's clear, pull the trigger and it'll go off. I've seen it happen. Okay. Magazine. This is a pretty easy gun to clean because it's all big flats and stuff. Now what I like to do is I like to get underneath the fader fingers on the magazine. This magazine wasn't too bad at all. Okay. That's everything clean. Now what we have to do is oil it. Remember, if you're using strike hold or a product like strike hold, we are actually done right now. We can put together this gun and it's ready for use. But if you're using a Hoppe's or a regular one process cleaner, you're going to have to deactivate the cleaner with oil, and you're also going to have to lubricate the gun where lubrication is necessary. You don't put lubrication directly into a gun unless it's a special situation, which this isn't. So we're just going to put 3 drops of oil on the rag, and while the rag is at its oiliest, we're going to just run it up and down the slots on the frame 2 or 3 times. That's 3 times. Once up, down, up, down, up, down. That's 3 yet. And now, with what's left, I'm going to wipe down the whole inside of the gun, because the rest of the gun doesn't really need lubrication. We just need to turn off the cleaner. So I'm going to make sure I get it all. Now if I wipe the whole outside of the gun with gun cleaner, I'd have to wipe the whole outside of the gun with oil and then wipe it off. See the problem with that? You have oil on your gun, you wiped it off, it's still got residue on it, you put it in your pants or in your holster, now you're getting oil on your clothing and in your holster. Okay, make sure you get the battery. Remember, every place you touched it with oil, with gun cleaner. Okay, so now we have the rod. I'm going to hit that with some oil. And the spring. Come on, get on there. Ugh. The barrel. Make sure you get the ramps on the barrel. And you got to make sure you get these ramps extra clean, because that's another place that where your bullet hits this and slides into your barrel. If it's dirty, it can cause a jam. And they say my gun's jamming and it ends up because of dirt. That's mostly where the dirt is that's causing it. Okay, so up and down the barrel with some oil. That's just to deactivate the cleaner. Now on the frame, I'm going to take a new cloth, 3 drops of oil, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do the same thing. The places that actually need lubrication, I'm going to do first. So I get the slot for on the frame that the slide rides in. That's good and oiled. And then I'm going to wipe down the rest of the gun that I touched with cleaner. And I'm not going to do the outside of this gun because you get the idea. If you hit it with cleaner, you're going to hit it with oil. Also, one of the things that you got to do with cleaner, and I missed showing you this, so I'm going to take a cleaner rag, put this on, then I'll go over it with oil. Mop out the magazine well. Look how much dirt came out of there. And then I'll do the same thing with oil if I did it with cleaner. Okay. And there we go. Now we're ready to put this firearm back together again. So slide upside down, barrel goes in, gets dropped in, spring goes in, push it down, put the slide on the frames, on the frame rail. Now my chest still isn't able to take that much weight, so I'm going to put it's just easier for me to handle getting it locked back. It's going to take I have a few more months. Now I'm going to flip this switch back up. I got a few more months before I'm able to operate a handgun properly. Okay, and now we do a function check. So, oh shoot, works. Okay, so there we go. The SIG P220 45 with night sights and double action decocker, 8 rounds. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me for the P220 45 by SIG. Great little gun. I should say great big gun. So, thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and until next time.